Plaintiff Ernestine Davis says the defendant is her daughter, and she's been nothing but problems. Ernestine claims when the defendant was 14, she started using drugs, and Ernestine did everything she could to help her. But Ernestine is suing her today for the balance due on a credit card bill. Defendant Sarah Davis says she was a product of her environment, and she started using crystal meth when she was 11 years old because Ernestine was a drug user and she introduced Sarah to meth. Sarah claims she never saw proof of a credit card bill, and she doesn't believe she owes Ernestine for anything.
Start with you.
Sarah Davis is my daughter. She's been nothing but problems to me. I've been in her life for a long time. She's been into drugs. She was 14. She had an abortion when she was 15. She had a child when she was 18. I've been in their life ever since.
Okay, what type of problems did she have? What type of drugs?
Meth.
When did she start using
14.
that? Wow.
Actually, it was younger than that, but I can't believe she's bringing that one up since that's where it came from, but go ahead.
That's where what came from?
The drugs.
Came
the drugs
from-
came from this one over here. But
She
Because
supplied-
it's been a problem with you, that's why.
well, because you introduced
She
me to it.
supplied.
But go ahead.
did not
Ma'am, talk
introduce
to
you to
me.
it.
She supplied you with crystal meth.
Yes, yes.
Starting at
it
what
was
age?
it was growing up throughout my whole childhood.
Okay. Starting
yes.
at what age?
I started using when I was 11. Yeah.
Okay. And she supplied it.
Yeah, they were big time drug addicts. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
How did she get? And they handed it to you?
No,
or
no,
they-
no. I used to steal it from her.
Okay. All right. Well, you stole it from her. She didn't provide it. You
Well, no,
stole
but it was I was a product of my environment. Yeah, you could say
So
that.
was I.
I'm clean now. I've been clean now, but yeah, I was a problem child. Yeah, I went through all of that. I love my mother.
When did you stop using crystal meth?
Well, I've had my time periods, but I've been clean for the last 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
She looks really pretty, by the way. She does.
You have some odd behavior. You sure you're not getting high anymore? Okay.
I know.
All right, your behavior is odd, that's all. Okay. And when people who have a history of drug use come in acting odd, you think that they're still getting high. That's all. Ma'am, do you want to respond to that? She says that you all were crystal meth, either dealers or manufacturers.
I don't know what she's talking about.
All right, you deny that.
Yes, I do.
All right, but she admits to beginning the use of crystal meth at age 11 and stopping only 3 years ago. What else you want to tell me?
I've been taking care of her and my grandkids for the last 18 years since my grandson was born. And I've been in her life since then. I was the only one that's been helping her out. And just
Okay. Did she go to rehab? Did you try and get her into rehab?
when she was younger, yes, I did.
How many times?
Once.
Okay.
I was working, okay, and I was trying to deal with her and work and support her.
What years? What 1980s, 90s? What years are you?
14.
Do you know what years your addiction was, ma'am?
From what, 91?
That's when you first started?
Yeah. But I don't know.
You
about
were
this
11
whole-
in 1991? Were you 11 in 1991? That should be a pretty easy question.
Yeah.
You were, that's how old you were?
Yeah, 91.
Okay, good enough. And during those times, it was hard to get in rehab, ma'am. I don't know
Yes,
if you
it
tried
was,
or not
sir.
because
I did.
it was a crack epidemic. And so crack addicts were in line way ahead of crystal meth addicts because that wasn't an epidemic until the mid-90s.
And I did go to work. I did get a little assistance from the welfare, but I went to work. She had a home. She had food. What she was doing, I don't know. I knew, but
Plus, you can't force a person to go to rehab if they don't want to.
that's right.
All right, ma'am, you want to give me some background other than you said your parents supplied the drugs?
No.
Nothing else? All right. And the credit card claim, how does she owe you $3,526?
I let her use this card use it for gas only. That's specifically what it was for because she
When?
had to work. She was 2013. She got a job. And she kept borrowing money from me for gas. And I said, I don't have any one time. And I had a Sears credit card with zero balance. I told her, here, gas only, nothing else.
You didn't see any symptoms of her being addicted to drugs?
Oh, no, I didn't think no, because the job she had, they take drug tests.
Okay.
They give you a drug test.
And she ran it up 3,500?
Yes, sir, she did. I asked when she hit $2,000, I told her, give me my credit card back, stop using it. She never gave it back to me. And the next statement I got, it was 35, and I got upset with her.
She supplied you with crystal meth?
Yes.
Starting at
it
what
was
age?
it was growing up throughout my whole childhood.
Okay. Starting
yes.
at what age?
I started using when I was 11.
Plaintiff Ernestine Davis is suing her daughter, who claims when she was 11 years old, Ernestine introduced her to crystal meth, and as a result, she became an addict.
Let me hear from you.
I had asked her, I was using this for gas because where I worked at, it was about 25 miles one way. So, and the car I had was a gas hog. So I did get it to use just for gas. I was making other purchases on it. The amount that she
you
says.
just said you got it just for gas.
Well, no, I did.
And now you're saying you went beyond
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were being dishonest with her from the
Well,
beginning?
no, she knew that I was making these other purchases.
Okay.
Because I had asked her before I made the purchases, hey, could I get this or do that? So, I mean, she knew that I was making other purchases, but I was paying on it. I was paying on it. And as far as the amount that she says that I've charged it up to, I've never seen any evidence. She's never given me anything.
Did you give her the card back when she requested it?
Yes, I did. But I've never seen anything stating that these are your purchases, which I have asked her for, and she hasn't given them to me.
I did tell her how
Hold on, ma'am. Let's see, these crystal meth thing that cut right through that. I know they're used to the lies and the manipulation, but seen it 1,000 times. So, you paid how much? Yeah, you wouldn't know because you never got a bill. You never seen a bill. Do you have a bill to show her today? Most recent.
Yes, sir.
If that's been 2013, you should have something. All right, April 20 of 2014. And have you paid $3,500 since April of 2014?
Sure.
Sure? That's your response? With a shrugged shoulder? You see why I say you're a dope fiend? Because that's how they do. Sure. When their mother sues them for $3,500. Okay. You want rehab? Because you're still getting high, in my opinion.
Okay.
You do?
Sure.
All right, we're going to grant you the opportunity to get rehab. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
He never gave it back to me.
Can you at least admit that I've been clean for all this time, please?
I never said you weren't clean.
I know, but he did.
Well,
Come
I'm
on.
sorry. That's the way you were acting. I haven't
Acting
seen
like
you in I don't know
what?
how long, okay?
Because you don't talk to me.
Because you know what? Every time I get involved with you, you want.
What? Okay, can you just leave me alone from now on?
Yeah, I am.
Got me on national television to call me a
There you
fiend.
go.
Plaintiff Judith Bulal dated the defendant, and she claims he's a narcissist and a pathological liar who uses women for money. Judith claims she gave the defendant 2 loans, but he has yet to repay her, so she's suing. Defendant Robert Thompson says he thought everything was going fine with Judith, and he was shocked when she broke up with him via text out of the blue. Robert claims he still doesn't know why Judith left him, and he insists the money from her was a gift.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor, I met Bobby Thompson in April of 2015, and after that we started dating. And based on that experience, I believe that Bobby is a narcissist, he's a con artist, and a pathological liar.
Tell me what experiences you had to make you believe that.
Yes. Well, one example is that he stood me up for a weekend. He didn't show up for a weekend that we had planned. But when we talked later, he said that the reason he wasn't there was because his 3 family members in his were in a terrible car accident, and they were all in critical condition. But later, he said that he hadn't seen his family for a long time.
Okay. Standing you up doesn't
I
make him
think
a narcissist.
Well, the narcissist part was with the fact that he was very controlling and critical of me. And
Okay, maybe you don't understand. Narcissism means an extreme love for oneself. But go ahead.
okay, I believe that he uses women for money.
Okay, now that's
And-
certainly a con man if you believe that. And the family incident, that's certainly a big lie. I don't know how many big lies he's told you. That would make him a pathological if he told you a lot of big lies. Has he told you a lot of big lies?
Yes.
He doesn't deal with little lies. He's big, everything. All right, sir, let me hear from you. She says you're a narcissist, and meaning you have extreme love for yourself, think you look real good. Let's start there.
Okay. I don't think I look that good.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
In love with yourself?
Myself, about myself?
In love, extreme love for yourself?
No, I'm not in extreme love with myself.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I met Judy around about that time. We met in class, communications class, and we hit it off. And we started communicating, we started dating and everything like that, and it was going just fine. I would see her every weekend, go to work during the week, and see her on the weekends. That's what
What do you think went wrong?
I really don't know because we had a conversation, a long conversation about breaking up and how to break up. And I received
During that long conversation, you
Yes.
never got the gist of why she was breaking up with you.
No, so we were just talking about people in general, saying that they would text people, and we
Okay.
said that was insensitive, cold.
You're telling me this today, why? Because the subject is the two of you breaking up.
Yeah, the two of us breaking up.
Do you know why that is? Not why
No.
others break up,
No.
but why the two of you broke up. That's the subject matter.
I have no idea why we broke up.
All right, you
As
want to
of today.
ask her?
did
Because
we
you
break up?
came to court being broke up. I don't know if you know that
I believe that Bobby is a narcissist. He's a con artist and a pathological liar.
Defendant Robert Thompson is being sued by his ex-girlfriend, who claims Robert is a narcissistic liar who uses women for money.
or not. Go ahead, ma'am. He doesn't know why you broke
So,
up.
Judy, why did we break up?
Well, I had sent him a text message and told him that,
He told you you all shouldn't do that by text,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
but he indicated to me a couple of times that he was looking for a job outside of the St. Louis area, like in another state. And given the fact that I wasn't happy in the relationship because of that controlling stuff that he was doing, I said that I thought that he was just kind of slipping away, and that that I needed to end the relationship. And then in that same text, then I talked about the loans.
Did breakup have anything to do with the loans?
No, what I told him was that I could see that he was looking for a job in another state.
Okay,
that I
and it
didn't
sounds
wanna
like
be in
you're
the
going to
re-
leave me, so let's just
Yes.
break up before you leave. And what did
That
he say?
wasn't the reason.
That wasn't the reason?
No, the reason
All right, no
was-
wonder he doesn't know, ma'am. You've given me three different reasons. You've given me three different things, and just a little confused there. But the loan, how did this come about and when?
Okay, so the first loan was September, and that was of
15?
2015.
Uh-huh.
And that was for his car. And he told me that he needed the money, otherwise his car would be repossessed and he wouldn't have a way to get to work. And so I gave him $1,000 in cash. And then the second loan was
Was there an agreement on when he would repay?
Yeah, we had some emails back and forth, and we set like a time frame, like one time in November of 2015.
Okay.
And the second loan was for rent, and that happened in January of
16?
yes,
And that was for how much? Obviously another 1,000?
yes.
When was he to repay that?
Well, it was the same. I mean, it was the same for the rent and for the car.
At the same time?
Yes,
He was to pay you the 1,000 that you loaned him in September in November, right? Is that what you're telling me?
no.
What are you telling me? When was he? Let's try it again. When was he to repay you the money you loaned him in September?
Well, I'll have to look at my evidence here.
All right, sir, what do you want to tell me about this?
Okay, both loans were a gift. We talked about it in length. They were a gift. She knew my financial situation. I was getting
What
up on my
was your
feet.
financial situation?
Basically, owed a little bit of Uncle Sam. I was a little bit behind on my car. My car broke down, and I had a payment on my car. And then I was late on one of my rent payments and
And
everything.
you weren't working? Let's start there.
I was working.
So why couldn't you pay your own bills?
I paid them, but I didn't have enough to pay them off.
Why?
Because I just ran out of money.
Okay.
I actually just ran out of money.
What about the second time?
The second time was mostly the rent because I was I think 1 month behind.
And why couldn't you pay them yourself?
Because I paid the rent, but I was still 1 month behind.
You ran out of money again?
I did. No,
Okay.
I just ran out of
And
money.
now the last time you ran out of money was January.
That was really the last.
So you have money now.
Yes, I have a little money.
Okay, and if you're ordered to pay, you can pay it then. But then you'll be out again. You will have run out again. All right, ma'am. He says these were gifts. That's why I need the dates.
Yeah, I've
in
got the
which-
date. Okay, so it was in September 2014. And then that was
He
for
was
the
to
car.
repay
And
you
then
when?
on November of 2015, I sent him a text message demanding payment of the
Ma'am,
two
you're
loans.
not giving me the information I need. I need to know when you exchanged money, when did he say he would repay you?
Well, I hope that he would do it right away.
Okay, so there's no date for repayment.
Well, on 10/28 of 2015, I sent him a payment for two loans by repaying me $100 monthly, beginning in November
There you
of
go.
2015.
So 100 a month, beginning in 2015.
Yes.
What month in 2015?
October.
October. All right. And you're looking at something. You have evidence of that? What are you reading from?
I have a timeline.
Narcissism means an extreme love for oneself. But go ahead.
I believe that he uses women for money.
Okay.
Defendant Robert Thompson is being sued by his ex-girlfriend, who claims Robert is a narcissistic liar who uses women for money.
And let's see that, please. And he agreed to this?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Sir, she gives me a timeline saying that you were to give her 100 a month. Did you ever agree to give her 100 a month?
Yes, when I got on my feet, I did agree to give her $100 a month.
Okay, do you make it a habit of repaying gifts?
The second one was not a gift.
Pardon me?
The second one was not a gift.
All
The
right,
first
what
one
about
was
the
a gift.
first one? Did
The
you
first one-
repay the first one?
No,
did you
I did
pay
not.
that? Why? You ran out of money.
No.
Judgment for the plaintiff. I believe
you.
he owes you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. $2,000.
I'm grateful that I had this opportunity because I do not want to be a woman who is used, for my money and for other things. And so it was important to me to stand up for me and for women. So I'm grateful for the opportunity and I appreciate the verdict.
We talked about it. We communicated about it, and I hope after this we can still be friends. But you will get your money, $100 or whatever it is. You will get your money. She will get her money.
Plaintiff Portia Holliday says she was appreciative when the defendant allowed her to rent a room in his home. Portia says the defendant's mother lived with him, and Portia claims she was so verbally abusive that Portia had to call the police on her. Portia is suing for a rent refund and punitive damages. Defendant Charles Lewis says after Portia got fired from her job, her behavior changed and she started acting strange. Charles claims Portia once told him that he shouldn't watch TV because evil spirits come from the television. And he's countersuing for lost wages.
Start with you.
Well, I was very happy to meet the two of the defendants here. They offered me lodging and a shower in September. The first day we started off, I paid rent in full.
Lodging and what else?
Lodging and shower. I was very happy to have it somewhere to
You
stay.
happy to have a shower?
I really was. I was most appreciative. Yes, I was. Yeah. I know small things mean a lot to some people.
Okay.
But it was close to my job, and I was able to work with the situation. The first night I moved in, I ate an apple. I ate with Mrs. Lewis. She ate a TV dinner. After she finished the TV dinner,
With you, it's the small things in life that matter.
There you go. That's right.
Shower, an apple.
There you go.
Now you're throwing a little TV in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, after she finished the TV dinner, she pushed the trash in front of me. And I'm sitting there like, we don't do this in my house. What's going on here? So that was my first clue that something was going to be different. And then in about September, I went to the store. I bought some hydroponics equipment because I was going to grow some plants inside. And I happened to meet Mrs. Lewis's daughter there. She begged me not to tell her mother that I met her. She told me she was writing a book called Love and Kindness. And the reason she was writing it is because of the abusive situation she had grown up under. Things were strange in that house as time went on. Well, I scrubbed down the washing machine, the dryer with some ammonia. She said that we weren't able to use the washing machine anymore. That's one of the benefits you look for when you rent.
No, just shower.
Well, it's okay. It's all good. I like to have clean clothes too. A nurse needs clean clothes. But she said, would I take her and wash her spread? I said, yes, I would. Next morning we got up. She's got clothes lined up outside her son's door, expecting me to take 5 bags of clothing when she had just asked for the bedspread. So I'm like, what's going on here?
But you got to focus on him now.
Exactly, you're 100% right. The relationship, the situation with him, I found was okay until he blew up like a bull one day and said, if you stay here, your life, this is after he puts out this fictitious eviction notice on February the 3rd. Fictitious because he hadn't gone to the law.
All right, let me allow him to give some background and then we can get back to the eviction notice. Sir?
She moved in September. As far as I knew, everything was fine. I work a 15-hour shift. I work a 70-hour week. I go to work at 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, so I need someone there with my mom, so she's not at the house all by herself. So the main reason I was renting was have someone there with my mom.
Did your mom ever complain about her?
No, they were getting along fine. It was after about January the 15th or so, she got fired from her job. And that's when she started acting strange. She come and told me that we couldn't watch TV because evil spirits are coming through the TV.
No, that was from your mother. I'm afraid not. I didn't say through the TV. I said from your mother because she went off on me.
Okay.
And then I came to you to approach you to try to mitigate the situation before I called the police.
Well, she told me about these evil
Somebody
spirits
had
coming.
evil spirits were coming from somewhere.
I said then she got to go. That's right. That she got to go. So I think it was January the 24th, she called the police on my mom.
About what?
I have no idea. She said my mom wouldn't let her in the house.
How old is your mom?
85.
Ma'am, you 85?
I'm afraid I didn't say.
Yeah. Well, when the police came, I had to be to work at 2 a.m. that morning. I went to bed at 6. They woke me up. I told her then, I said, no, now you're going to have to move right away.
Plaintiff Portia Holliday rented a room in the defendant's home, and she lived with him and his mother. But she claims his mother was so verbally abusive that she had to call the police on her.
Ma'am, did you call the police?
Yes, I did because his mother cussed me out. She tells me she's a Seventh-day Adventist, but I've never seen one that uses the language she uses at people.
Oh, I grew up as a Seventh-day Adventist. I cuss like a sailor.
Do you really? Fancy that.
Well, after she called the police, I told her, you cannot be waking me up. I'm a driver. I have to sleep. I work a 15-hour shift. You have to move. That was a Sunday. That Monday, I put a 3-day notice on her door for her to leave.
Yeah, but man, why do you call the police on her? She's not a threat, a physical threat. Why would you call the police?
So abusive.
Because she's cursing.
Living with her, it was very abusive.
Well, then move. You don't call the police on an 85-year-old woman because she's cursing.
That's exactly what it came to. I prepaid January to February.
Okay, but you were telling me about an eviction notice that was served
he had a
on you.
phony eviction notice
Well,
put on my door.
You did not move because of the cursing. You moved because you were evicted. That's
No,
what
I did that. That's
all right. You tell me why you moved.
I didn't move because he didn't get a formal eviction notice and file it.
Why did you move?
The reason I moved is on Super Bowl night, I came home after a movie. I said, oh, I'm glad your team won. And I went in the room, all my stuff was gone. The room was completely cleaned out. I said, my goodness gracious. So then I couldn't sleep at all that night, realizing that I couldn't have my things in the room that I'm renting. And so then I go and sit in my car. Lift up the trash can. My soil, my potting soils, everything is in the trash can. So I was really beside myself. I went and found a local policeman was inside of a store. And I said to him, I said, this is terrible. He said, ma'am, you don't have to stay there. I said, you're right. The next day I went and filed these papers.
All right, sir. What do you say to that? Sounds like she's saying there was an illegal eviction.
No, not at all. I gave her a 3-day notice, which in state of Texas, if you're going to evict someone, you first have to post a 3-day notice. I was going to go
threw
through
her things out afterwards?
No, I never touched any of her stuff.
Okay. What happened to her things?
I have no idea about any of her stuff. I had no idea when she left or any of that. Her rent was up on the 17th. I put the notice up, I believe it was on February
3rd.
3rd. After that, I never saw her again, never talked to her again, never heard nothing from her again.
And you think he moved your things out?
No, I know exactly who moved them out or had
Leave
them.
that man's mother alone. This woman 85 years old. Leave her alone.
You haven't seen her in full swing. I'm surprised she hasn't gotten in full swing by now. She gets to pointing her fingers, swearing, cussing. She's getting warmed up now.
No, she's not. She
You
looks
wouldn't
like a
believe how
sweet
much
Seventh-day Adventist woman.
That's what I was expecting when I first moved in. She
she's
took these
still is.
Seventh-day Adventist papers and things. I sat off to the table because I don't watch
Let me see.
television. And she blocked the place where I was eating on a daily basis. She had just chosen to take and just block
see.
it. The sweet
Just
Seventh-day
trying to make
Adventist
sure
woman.
you ate properly. That's one of the things Seventh-day Adventists, they eat properly. That's why she's so healthy at age 85.
Well, that's one
Don't
good
eat
thing.
pork, don't drink alcohol, don't smoke cigarettes. Many things. They live a temperate lifestyle.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen more of that and less of the derogatory words and
I don't
profanity.
believe this woman was cursing at you.
Your Honor, that's
she got
our
her
dining
Bible
room table.
sitting there.
We ate at the kitchen table, so.
They ate at the kitchen table. There's a television. It's a small
Testimonies of
kitchen
the
table.
Testimonies of the Church. Who's that? By Ellen G. White?
Yes.
See, I know my Adventism.
She,
don't I?
she, I'm sure
Doesn't
she's
even
very
say
happy
who
to
it
be
is.
here because she says your mother was a Seventh-day Adventist, which was one of the positive things she said.
That's
in our
why you
interaction
moved in
together.
too.
Well, that's not why I
Knowing
moved
that
in.
Judge Mathis' mother was Seventh-day Adventist. So now, my mother, she didn't play either now. Seventh-day Adventists don't play at all. The only question is, if she moved the things out, then you might be suing the wrong person.
I thought about that too. But she was in communication with her son. Her
How do you
son
know
is the
that?
one I was renting with. Oh, because they lived in the same household.
Yeah, but you can't assume she was
And
in
not-
communication with him regarding moving your things out.
Not only that, around October, I took her to Walmart. She was asking me to use her credit card. I said, I'm afraid not. And so we both went in. I bought a big vat of Quilted Northern. That Quilted Northern's gone, removed. I don't know where it is.
Ma'am, do you want to speak? She's making all these allegations. You want to say anything? You don't have to.
No, sir.
Okay, very good. See, she's sweet,
I
dignified,
would've lo-
Seventh-day
If
Adventist
she had
lady.
remained in this demeanor, we would not be here today.
I believe she is. You the one got the devil in you.
And she has a pharmacist that knocks about 8 o'clock at night real lightly, raps on the door. I believe she's in some kind of DEA program or something for drugs. But he raps on the door at night, and then he says to his mother, Mom, your
You
pharmacist...
keep talking, I'm going to think you need some drugs.
Plaintiff Portia Holliday rented a room in the defendant's home, and she lived with him and his mother. But she claims his mother was so verbally abusive that she had to call the police on her.
Now tell me the rent refund for what month?
This would be from January 15th to February 15th.
All right.
And so I left on February the 8th. After the Super Bowl day, the night I laid in bed, couldn't sleep because all my possessions were gone.
Sir, why don't you think she should receive a refund of her
Because she
wages?
never told me she was leaving. I have no idea when she left. I heard nothing from her. As far I never changed any locks. She could have stayed there in the house through the 17th.
His mother demanded meetings with me in the morning. She said, sit down. She'd point her finger, sit down here. I have a right to know what's going on. I said, okay, and I would try to talk to her in a quiet demeanor. She would always get profane and abusive and point her fingers. I told her, I'm not leaving.
I told you enough with her, with his mother.
She never
he would
said a
speak
word
to
to
his
me
mother.
about her leaving or any of that.
And
I
she
told
As
him
far
he
as I
wasn't
was
leaving.
concerned, she was
Your
there through the
counterclaim for
17th.
lost wages. How does she
I had
owe
to take
you?
3 days off work.
Why 3?
Because first of all, the service, the sheriff or the constable that came to serve me, when I went to pick up the service, they wasn't there. So I had to take another day off to go get the service. Then I had to take a day to go answer. So I had to take 3 days off work.
No one takes the day off to go and get served.
No.
I've never heard of that.
They never told me that. They said I had to come down there and pick it up. She left the thing on my door, and I said, I'm not going to be home. I'll have to come and get it.
Was that registered mail, obviously, is what you're referring
No, the
to?
constable came by the house and left their card. And when I called them, they said, you need to come down here to...
All right, they were being lazy, sir, because they are supposed to come, and that's part of the lawsuit process. Not going to grant you lost wages for your mistakes, sir. That's not something you should have done. And with regard to paying the rent, I am going to grant her refund, and that would be of $135. All right, and that's all I'm doing
Your
is
Honor.
granting
Thank you,
you
Your
your
Honor.
refund
Thank
today.
you so much, Your Honor.
And you need to leave Miss Lewis alone. I'm telling you that right now. She may not have the evil spirit, as you suggest, but she has God on her side, and I'm telling you, you need to leave her alone.
And I'm happy for that.
All right, what you got? Where you go?
Oh, I like the Brooklyn Tabernacle, Cimbala, Judge
I
Cimbala.
know you like it. Do you go?
No, I have. My
You
daughter.
have. See,
My
you
daughter.
talk-
I don't live in New York. I listen to him, and that's something that I did when I lived with these people. I listened on a regular basis to Pastor Cimbala.
All right, good enough. Have a good day.
You too, and thank you.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
I have nothing to say to her.
Well, I have something. I appreciate your letting me in your home. It served a very good service for me while I was working, and I'm most appreciative.
Oh, thank you.
And say hello to your sister.
All right, thank you.
Plaintiff Deanna Hanka says she met the defendant at a youth shelter where her witness lived, and they became friends. Deanna claims she felt bad for the defendant because she was pregnant and in an abusive relationship. So she loaned her money to buy a car, but she's suing because the defendant has yet to repay her. Defendant Emily Peterson admits that she and Deanna were close and that she tried to help Emily escape her abusive relationship. However, Emily claims their friendship deteriorated after Deanna befriended her abuser and then accused Emily of lying about the abuse. Emily refuses to pay her for anything.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I met Emily Peterson July 2014 through a youth program, youth shelter, where Mathis got my witness, lived at the moment. And since I went to visit him at the youth program or youth shelter multiple times, almost every day, I grew to befriend Emily, who was a staff at the program.
She was staff, you said?
Yes, she was working there. As we became friends, I would hang out with her at the program and also at her home. And then later on, it wasn't until she started having sexual relations that I started questioning her personality and who she was as a person a little bit.
How's that relevant to today's case?
Her relationship actually caused her to have a pregnancy, which made me feel really bad because he was abusive. And I offered to buy her a car with the $500, give her the $500, and she'd buy a car so she could get to and from work safely while she was pregnant.
I still don't see what that has to do with the...
She never bought the car, Your Honor.
All right, and you know her from working with your boyfriend while he is there at the center? All right, now do you want to tell me what he's there for? Why is he homeless?
His parents abandoned him here 7 years ago, and he had no place to stay.
All right, and you want to get into his parents' lives and all that?
I don't know his parents, Your Honor.
And he'll tell you, and then you can tell us, so that everybody will know. Since you like everybody to know
Your
folks'
Honor.
information. All right, and you give me some background, ma'am.
I met Deanna through her boyfriend, Matt, at the time. And we did become very, very close because I was in a very abusive relationship. She was who I called every single time I needed help, and she was trying to help get me out of that said relationship. And we were very close until she started befriending the man who was abusing me instead of being there for me, and told me that she hoped that my pregnancy would end, and then sent text messages telling me that I was lying about the
before or after
abuse.
this money she's alleging
This
she
is
loaned?
this is after.
What?
Yep, this is after.
You come up with all kinds of stories when you owe somebody money.
Defendant Emily Peterson was friends with the plaintiff until the plaintiff befriended Emily's abusive ex-boyfriend.
Tell me about this money she owes you, man.
As I said, I lent her $500 to buy herself a car
When was she to repay you?
whenever I asked.
Like you could say, give me my money back next day?
In good trust, I said, you can pay me back when you can or whatever. And we let it go for a few months.
When did you loan it to her?
December 2015.
And when did you first ask to be repaid?
March 25th, 2016.
So why did you determine you wanted it in March?
I was taking a trip to Montana and needed to get a few items.
What did she tell you when you asked for the money in March?
I have the text right here saying that she said, absolutely, I get paid on Monday, so I can have it then.
Okay, let's see that. Ma'am, did you do that?
I absolutely did. I had every intention of repaying her. However, my checks were being garnished at that point, and I was in pretty big debt from the relationship I had been in. And I wasn't able to, and by the time Monday...
You didn't know that when you told her, absolutely, I'll get paid on Monday?
I did not realize how much they were going to be taking of my check. I had every intention of giving her at least part of what I owed her at that point until she started sending the text messages.
So that's why you stopped. What text messages did she send you?
I have this text message right here, as well as pictures of the abuse, like proving the abuse that she had said I was lying about.
All right, but what text messages did she send to you to...
She basically texted me telling me that she didn't believe that I had been abused, that she didn't believe that I had ever been pregnant, and that by not paying her, she was going to sue me, and it would help my abuser free in court. Those are the bruises that were left on me that I was recovering from.
This is just a messy back and forth. I realize, Sean, that you were lying, will always be assessed. You come up with all type of stuff when you owe this woman her money. $500 is your judgment, ma'am. The only reason she said she determined she wasn't going to pay you because of the mess you all got into on the text messages saying that you didn't believe she was abused. And that's no legal defense to not paying her, ma'am. Good luck to you. $500.
It said that I was lying about all of the abuse I had gone through, which was like being abused all over again, coming out of an abusive relationship. So I have no intentions of letting people like that back in my life.
There was some anger after we found out that the $500 we gave for the car was used to buy the abusive boyfriend's shoes instead. So.
Well, the abusive boyfriend took it, so there's not much I can do.
I never saw any bruises,
boyfriend.
That's all. Like, I'm not saying she wasn't abused, but I'm not saying she was either.
You should have been told that he took the money. You never said anything. You told us you got a car. If you had told us you weren't able to buy the money or use the money for what it was for, you should have told us.